Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another episode of Footy Talk. What you saying, my bro?
Bro, man's all good, fam. Dying in the heat. What are you telling me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's all right, bruv. Man was happy to see a bit of rain. I can't even lie, cuz.
Yeah, but fam, the rain makes it humid. And fam, you see, when the restrictions got removed, everybody's living this reckless life now. Like, bro, I take the train to work, and fam, these men are wild. Like,
Okay, yeah. True say, I don't need to do any of that. So, yeah, bruv, I feel for you, cuz I can't even lie. I was saying, I'm keeping my mask and I ain't going around these people, bro. I'm either on my bike or in the car, bruv. Like, man's not really doing this public transport thing. I'm not doing the inside social thing. I'm not doing none of that, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, you're missing out, fam. But TFL, my thing, like you'd think COVID never existed. And the thing is, like, everybody's sweating up in the TFL. Like, fam, it's literally like a recipe for disaster. Oh,
yeah, it's gonna be a mad thing, innit? It's gonna be an absolute mad thing. But bruv, the game is the game. That's what they say. You know, that's what they say, bruv. So, bruv, good luck to everyone that's out and about living life as usual. You know what I'm saying? Check in with me soon, innit? And let me know how you're getting on, innit? Because it's gonna get peak soon. That's all I know.
Wow, there's gonna be another lockdown. 100%.
No, they won't. They won't though. They won't be. But man, them are gonna be murked, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? That's one thing I know, innit? The reason why I don't think there'll be another lockdown is because they need the economy to start doing what it does. And also, at the beginning, them man were talking about herd immunity anyway. So really and truly, them man just want everyone to catch it now, innit? Like, and then whatever happens kind of thing. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm just making sure that I'm not around these man them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So boy, good luck to them man there, innit?
They mentioned herd immunity like the first time COVID came about. But then, like,
well, there you go.
They capitulated and they done a lockdown. Because,
well,
like,
there you go.
From what I've read,
but now it's still a herd immunity thing, bro. It's still that. Don't get it twisted, because if you think about it, yeah, like the injection doesn't stop you from catching it anyway, bro. They said 60% of the people in hospital have had both their jabs, so it shows you that the jabs don't help. They don't stop you from getting it. So it's still every man's immune system for itself, innit? So good luck to everyone, innit? I'm not living my life like the thing never existed, bro. I'm staying away from as many people as I can, bruv, until this thing calms down, innit? That's all I know. So, boy.
Yeah, no, that's probably the wisest thing to do, because, like, from what I read, fam, even like specialists told Boris, like, fam, like, what you're doing is wrong. You got to keep the lockdown in place, but he just wasn't having it.
I hear that. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see, innit? Big up everyone in here. Be safe, innit? That's the one thing. Be safe and eat your vegetables, fam. You get me? Because your immune system is going to have to look after you through this, because this thing ain't going away. This thing is not going away, bruv. You know, like that. So just make sure that you keep yourself nice and healthy, exercise, eat well, and yeah, I mean, hopefully your body should look after you, because it's all a mad thing. But don't ask me if I'm getting anything. I ain't getting shit. Like, I'm getting my fruit and veg. That's gonna help me through this phase of life that we're in right now. So it is what it is. It is, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Big up everyone inside. Gang biz, you already know it is. Smash the like as well. Rants Reacts coming out after this episode. I got our futsal game from the weekend as well. You man could check that out. And then on Sunday, we've got our league decider in it. So yeah, man. Well, that's what we're gonna do. If you want to come down and watch the game, it's in Haringey. If you're London based, the link for the tickets is in the description of this video, and will be in the description to all my videos up until match day. In it, it's free for under 16s and £5 for everyone else, and that gets you into both games. So our game and then the Arsenal Fan TV game after. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Hopefully I see you. What's that, bro?
The Haringey ground is a good one.
Yeah, it's a big venue, bro. Yeah, Haringey Borough. It's gonna be lit, bro. You get me? So man, them can stand around the side. You could be in the crowds, etc., etc. But yeah, man, if you wanna come down, you know what I mean, and support us, put some pressure on them as well. because a lot of them man been getting a lot of them man have been piping up online, innit? Like, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna turn up and play our football, innit? That's the best thing to do. Man ain't gonna get on to the online back and forth, because really and truly, blood, once the whistle goes, now I'm saying all the talking stops anyway, blood. Your mouth can't help you on the pitch. So you get me?
Oh, you do the talking on the pitch. That's the best way to silence them.
That's it. That's the best way. So we're just gonna go out there and do all our things. And when you man are talking about them percentages, bruv, it's not, bro. I know people that work in intensive care units and that, and they're telling me, bruv, trust me, man, them are double jabbed and still murked, fam. So, bruv, don't get it twisted. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's worse than you think. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So, now big up everyone inside. Hopefully see you guys down. Hopefully see you guys down there on Sunday. It'll be super lit. Also, bruv, Pogba, innit? That's the main news, yeah. Man are saying that his camp have pretty much, they're very close to agreeing terms with Paris Saint-Germain, innit? Which is not really a surprise. I can't even lie, because obviously all the negotiation for Pogba is going to be done through his agent anyway. Yeah. You know, like that. So yeah, man, like that. It's a weird one, because you're seeing some people say, yeah, they're close. Some people are saying, oh yeah, like, nah, it's cool. He's just had a baby. His missus is happy in Cheshire and that. Who the hell wouldn't be happy in Cheshire, bro? That don't mean that man ain't trying to go PSG.
Well, best believe Paris is nicer than Cheshire, fam.
You know, like that.
Especially with the P's he'll be on. So it doesn't matter. But I tweeted about it earlier, and Bearman got back to me saying, oh, it's all fake.
Yeah.
So it's one of two, but let's be real, no one's really surprised. They're the only club that would have gone in for him. And I feel like United, if it is, from what I read, 70 million euros, I think United might do it. Because, bro, here's the thing. Can United secure him under a new deal? Because let's be real, United only have till January. Because come January, he can start chatting to other clubs. And United, I don't know. Like, it's been long enough now, and they haven't been able to secure him down. So I think United might just not risk it and just get as much peace as they can for him.
That's probably what they should do, though. You know what I mean? That's probably what they should do. I'm not even going to lie, because it just doesn't really make sense. Unless he's going to sign a long-term deal, which I really don't see him doing, then what is the point, bro? Like, actually, what is the point, my bro, like, in keeping him? Because they're going to lose it. If you lose him for free, it's poor, innit? You could argue that they've still got their money's worth out of him, even if they lost him for free. But really, if you make money back on him, then you're up in it.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to be up? So for me, it doesn't make much sense potentially losing him on a free. And I think that Raiola wouldn't even mind. He wouldn't even mind Pogba going on a free, because it means more money for all of them.
Yeah, bro. I don't think anybody minds besides United. Like we discussed it in a previous show. Pogba will literally have the pick of all teams. Every team will come in for him. So he'll be spoiled for options. But I genuinely think United feel like they can tie him down, and they might go into the new season hoping they can. But the thing is, like I said, come January, if he hasn't put pen to paper, there's not much you can do. Like, he can literally just sign a free contract with anyone, and that's it. It's adios. So they'll hold the L. But like I said, if it is 70 million euros and there's still like a few more weeks of the transfer window, just shift him and just spend the money elsewhere. Because if you lose him for free, there's no P's coming in, and best believe they're not going to go out and spend big boy P's on a replacement. So,
but there is no replacement, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, the replacement was probably Camavinga, bro. But there's obviously rumors saying that they're willing to sell Camavinga for 40 million euros or something like that. Yeah. So if Pogba does leave, for say 50 to 60 million euros, because I think that's all United will get for him. This 78 thing's a myth. They're not getting that. Do you know what I mean? They'll get 50 million or something like that, maybe 60 if they're lucky. And United don't do well with selling players. United are notoriously bad at selling. So United ain't going to get 70 million euros for Pogba. No way. They're max getting 60. I wouldn't even be surprised if they end up getting 50 for him. You can replace Pogba with Camavinga, but then again, you're replacing a ready-made player in their prime with a lot of potential. Do you know what I'm saying? A young player that still has to come to the Prem, still has to acclimatize. And I don't even think a teenager like that would want to even leave home like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I very much see him ending up at PSG and that if they don't get Pogba right away, and then maybe Pogba leaving on a free next season.
Yeah, the whole Camavinga thing, like they came out and said literally it's 40 million euros. You pay, you get him. And like United literally just chilling, just tells you everything about United. Bro, any other team that needs a central midfielder, a player like Camavinga, they'll be in for him from day one. They'll pattern the deal within 24 hours. That's why, like I said, we mentioned it earlier. I think PSG are going to test United with Pogba. If not, they know they've got Camavinga local that they can pattern 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, I think they got him there on chill, you know. I think that they will snap him up if they don't get Pogba this window, innit?
That's the thing. Like, he's their plan B. And the team they're building, it doesn't matter. But that's the thing. They get Camavinga, United are stuck with Pogba. Pogba wouldn't sign a new deal. I don't think he will. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then United have missed out on Camavinga. They lose Pogba on a free. Where do we go from here?
Yeah. It's true.
So we're pissed. Like, then all the rumors are going to start coming in for Milinkovic-Savic. I'm cool with him, but let's be real.
But we've been linked with that guy for like 3 years, bro, or maybe even more than that.
Yeah, that's because literally every summer, it's the talk of, yo, is Pogba staying or leaving? And then man them come out and say, yeah, if Pogba goes, he's the perfect replacement. But at the same time, you lose Pogba on a free, best believe we're not paying 70, 80 for Milinkovic-Savic or however much he costs.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'm not even sure how good this Milinkovic-Savic player is, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie. Every time I watch him play, in my head, I'm like, bruv, if he's so good, why is he where he is, innit?
I hear that. Like, from what I know, he had a few good seasons. He had one season where he fell off, but he was back at it. But yeah, is he as good as people think he is? Maybe
I don't think so. Because if he was, he wouldn't be where he is, bro. Like that's the way football works, isn't it? That's the way football works, bro. Like, football has a way of kind of, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like if football shows you who and what players are, and it's just up to fans whether they want to keep it 100 or not. The thing is with a lot of football fans, they get excited, innit? They just love a new toy. They don't even care who it is sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You see fans will gas up the most dead baller, bro, just because it's a new toy. And instead of thinking about, yo, do we need this player, etc., etc. So, bro, like, with football, and I always say it, yeah, if a certain player in a certain chapter of their career is at a certain club, then they're there for a reason, bro. They're there for a reason. Because look at the Koulibaly thing. Everyone was like, oh, we should sign Koulibaly, this, that, and the other. Cool. If he's as good as he's supposed to be, yeah, how the fuck is man still there all these years later? You know, like that. And that's just how it is. Clearly, he ain't that good, because why didn't a Bayern Munich come in and go get him or someone like that? It's just like when Man United were linked with Bruno and that, and he was crying last day of the season, everyone swore to God that he was off. And then the season started and he was still in Portugal.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are all these teams, yeah? Despite all of his big numbers in Portugal, yeah, how come all these teams were supposedly looking at him and they all decided, nah, I don't want him? Like, United had a clear run at him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it makes you think, hold on, why United got a clear run at these ballers, bro? Like, anytime you've got a clear run at a player, that it throws up big question marks for me, bro.
It's a red flag. You know? It's a red flag.
Like how are you getting clear run at players, bro? Like, we're not the only team in the world with a scouting system. So how come no one else wants me?
I think it's one of two. Like, I've always said, if you're a baller and you're doing bits and you're getting the recognition, you're gonna get snapped up, regardless of the price. But at the same time, sometimes clubs do ask for too much. Like, I think with the Koulibaly, when we were linked with him, bro, they wanted 90 M's. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's good, but was he worth 90 M's at the age of 27, 28? Nah, he isn't.
Yeah, but Harry Maguire wasn't worth 85, but we still paid it. So that tells me that if man thought he was worth it, we would have paid that money, innit?
Yeah.
Like, so Liverpool paid what? Was it 70 for Van Dijk? Because they thought he was worth it, bro.
Like 74, 73.
Yeah, because they thought he was worth it. the facts are, yeah, when I've seen Koulibaly play against Premier League teams, because it's hard to judge players playing in Italy. I see man play against Arsenal and he got torn apart, bro. And I was like, raw, 90 million for this youth. It's all a bit mad. Like, he's good on the ball and that, but he's got a flipping mistake in him, fam. Do you know what I mean? And what it is a lot of fans see players, yeah, they see the players as what they want them to be instead of what they are, innit?
Yeah,
and that's just what it is.
I think it's like, as a fan, once you see your team get linked with a player, you automatically gas them up. Like, I've never ever seen fans get linked with a player and come out and downplay it and say, nah, he's shit, I don't want him. More times they're gassing him up. And even when we sign them, they can be shit. They will never switch on them unless they start dropping zeros out of 10. But I think it is the money that plays a part. Like with Koulibaly, 90 M's, it was a mad thing. Like, nobody was paying that. So I think that's what kept him at Napoli. And I feel like, especially with Napoli, who do they really have that they can make peas off? No one.
Yeah.
So it's literally only Koulibaly. So you might as well try and get as much peas as you can from him.
Yeah. Because man say Koulibaly's too expensive. But again, bro, if Bearman were in for him, bro, players force a move, blood. How many times have you seen a club say, yo, we want 90 million? A man's like, nah, you're taking a piss out of me. Let me go, bro. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Bro, it happens, bro. Man weren't trying to force a move because he was happy with the peas he was on. And ultimately, he ain't that good in it. Like, he's all right, but he's not great, blood. Because it's funny, all of us got linked with Koulibaly. Everyone was gassing him up, and then after that, his name just went quiet. Man ain't talking about him no more. What, did he stop playing football? He didn't stop playing football. It's just like he went back to just being average, bro. That's all it was. Like, bare people just got excited because we were linked with him. Saw a few clips on YouTube and thought, yeah, he's the guy. And that's it. But no one's talking about him no more. Same with Milinkovic-Savic. Every time we got linked with him, I used to see bare clips of this guy, yeah? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, his name's just gone under the radar again. Because he's just average, bro. That's just all it is. Like, he's not special, blood. If you're a special footballer, whether you like it or not, the world talks about you, blood. Like, no one weren't talking about this guy. He's at a mediocre club that ain't really challenging for nothing. He's not really pulling up trees where he is, bro. Like, he's not. Because whether you like Bruno or not, yeah, even though I think he's whack, yeah, his numbers, bro, are they're gonna make noise. His numbers make noise, bro. The reason why Liverpool were looking at him and then pulled out, the reason why Real Madrid were looking at him but then didn't want him, same with all these other clubs, because his numbers made noise and they said, hold on, let me have a look at this, you, because his numbers are crazy. But this Milinkovic-Savic done. It's like, man ain't making no noise, bro. Not making no noise, bro. So clearly he's not that good.
I think the Milinkovic-Savic hype came from United fans wanted someone of a similar mold to Pogba.
Exactly. Okay. A similar height, a similar kind of...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Similar physique, everything. Is he as good as Pogba? Hell no. He's probably not half the player Pogba is. But like, as a football fan, you ideally think the replacement should be a replica of a player. Yeah. And that's why we got linked with Milinkovic-Savic. So if Pogba was to go, who really is the replacement? There's no one. Yeah. There's no one. You're going to have to sign about at least 2 man. United won't sign 2 man. We won't sign 1. So it doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. And as for this year, bro, Totti wanted to stay where he wanted to stay, bruv. How can man compare Totti staying at Roma to Koulibaly staying where he is, blood, or Milinkovic-Savic, bro? Like, that's nonsensical, blood. Totti stayed there because he wanted to stay there, bro. He's a club legend. And he'll probably be their greatest ever player, bro. The same reason why Gerrard stayed at Liverpool and didn't win nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And Totti won things at Roma.
Yeah, but obviously Roma wasn't Juventus, innit? But the fact is, he stayed there for the same reason Gerrard stayed at Liverpool. Because he wanted to. Not because no one wanted him. So, do you know what I mean? All this, Koulibaly's really good and that. Koulibaly's good at playing out from the back when you don't press him and he walks out and does nice things. But he ain't that great, bruv. He's not that great.
It's rare for a good player to stay at a team. And that's why automatically people think it's a matter of money and people are not willing to pay the price for him. But fam, with Totti was amazing. Totti literally came out in so many different interviews and said, yo, I'm staying here because like this is my city, and I feel like it's wrong of me to leave. But best believe if Totti ever wanted to move, hella teams would have come in for him.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, bruv. Even that Scholes and that teams came in for Scholes and they didn't even entertain them. They were just like, nah. Same with Ryan Giggs. All them players, just because we never heard of bids for them, that doesn't mean that they didn't exist, bro. Because they've all come out in their books and that and said, yeah, well, Inter Milan came in for Giggs. He was like, yeah, allow it, bruv. Like, what you doing? It's not even a conversation. Yeah, so don't think that man didn't come in for Totti. Man came in for him.
United went in for Gerrard. I remember. I might be wrong. No, we did.
Yeah, and so did Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't go for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Not that he didn't want to go, but that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? But like man, when man's saying Savage isn't bad, we don't need a player that isn't bad to replace Paul Pogba. You know, like that. And a man said, oh, Milinkovic Savage is decent. Real Madrid wanted him. Yeah, cool. Why don't they want him now then? And that's what I'm. And why didn't they get him? Because Real Madrid usually get what they want, innit? They wanted Mbappe, didn't get him last season. They'll go in again this season. Real Madrid very rarely don't get what they want, innit? So if Real Madrid really wanted you, yeah, they would have you. Even if they pay you money under the table to hold out for 6 months or a year, Real Madrid get what they want, innit? And that's what it is. So when I hear man linked with Real Madrid and they don't end up there, it's because Real Madrid didn't really want them, bruv. Because Real Madrid will pay your nan blood to get you to the club if they have to.
Bro, especially with Madrid, like, it's just a matter of peas. Like, they don't even have to sell themselves. Like, best believe every player would go to Madrid if they can't call him. So they never went in for him. But I think I can see him staying at Lazio. But he is still relatively young, to be fair. He is, I think he's like 25, 26. But it all depends. How much do they want for him? That's the thing.
I don't know. I've never really heard prices thrown around for man because no one's really come in with a serious offer for him as far as I know. The only time I've heard man's name is just pure speculation, bro.
Yeah. But I think it's because not many teams want a player of that mold. You see what I mean? Yeah. They want more the midfielders that can like interchange with one another.
Yeah, more dynamic.
Yeah, quick on their feet. He's not that type of player. So, and I don't even think he's that versatile. And I think that's like the direction that football's going into. Like,
absolutely.
They prefer the versatile, quick on their feet players. So I don't know what it is with him.
There you go. A man is saying Grealish literally priced out of the move. But you see the thing with Jack here, he signed a new deal. No one made him. And I think there's a release clause in that deal anyway. So I don't think he is priced out of a move. I reckon he'll get the move if he wants it. Yeah. And that's it. No, I think he'll end up at City, bro.
I think with City, I don't think they'll sign anyone this year. Or maybe they might make the odd 1 or 2 small signings. I feel like they'll go into next year because as far as I know, they're trying to deploy the whole false 9 system. Now, like they've got the players for it, but I don't think the players are too familiar with that system. Like, yeah, it done wonders for them last year, but let's be real. Who really competed with them for the title? Who really gave them a challenge? I feel like if it doesn't work, next summer they will go all out. And a player like Grealish, City will pay the price. And I don't think Villa will stand in his way. Like
they won't.
Yeah, he's from the area. He's literally done wonders for them. You can't disrespect him by not letting him leave. Like, you can't expect him to stay at Villa. Like, he ain't a Totti. And, like, football's moved on from those days.
That's what I'm saying. A man is saying quoted prices, 100 million euros and stuff. Bro, football's some joke thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man are getting quoted 100 million euros for ballers that ain't even at big clubs, yeah, and ain't consistently doing it, yeah, at the highest of levels, yeah, week in, week out. It's a joke. And that's what I mean about some of these guys. But one thing I would say, yeah, especially like with the Koulibaly thing, yeah, the reason why he was priced that high in the first place is because man are seeing what Man United were going to spend on Maguire, and also people saw what Van Dijk went for. That's why. Do you know what I mean? That's the reason why man are getting priced like that. That's the only reason, because man are seeing what teams are willing to pay for players of a certain standard. It's just like you look at Leicester now, they've sold Chilwell and they've sold Harry Maguire. So if you go in for another Leicester player, they're saying, yeah, well, so-and-so paid this. That's how football market works.
Yeah.
That's where the 90 million for Koulibaly came from.
I think it's like the thing that's jarring from a football perspective is like, yeah, you want the finished product. Yeah, you want a player, whether they're in their prime or a player approaching their prime. But fam, why can't United do what Leicester do? Get the young player, and then after a year, just get them performing to a high level. That Leicester shifted Chilwell for 50 and went and signed James Justin, I think, from Luton Town for like 10 million. And everybody was raving about him this season. First season in the Prem, and he's doing wonders. Similar to, like I always say this, like it always like makes my blood boil. When United went in for Maguire, Ruben Diaz was at Benfica, and the release clause was 36 million.
Yeah.
And United never went in for him. They didn't want to take the gamble on a player that's not proven. But there's nothing wrong with that. Give them 1-2 seasons to adapt and then see how good they are. Like it doesn't make sense to always go pay big boy P's on a player that's not worth it just because you think they're like the finished product.
Yeah, it's true. 100%. And man said just because many clubs want what?
Just because many clubs want a player doesn't make him good.
Fred and bruv, of course. Listen, it holds certain value. Like that's everything in life. That's everything in life, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Just like a man don't want a girl that no other man wants, bruv. That's not how life works. You know, like that. It's demand, bro. Like nobody wants something that no one wants, bruv. If no one wants something, the first thing you're thinking is, yo, what's wrong with it? But you're saying that Pep wanted Maguire and wanted Fred. So what, bruv? Maguire was playing in the Prem. He's a homegrown, innit? He's a homegrown. They have a certain number of homegrown players in the team. He's playing week in, week out in the Premier League. He knows the demand of the Premier League. So, of course, Pep's going to be looking at him. Why not? If he's supposed to be touted as one of the better centre-backs in the league, why wouldn't Pep look at him? And he's supposedly a ball-playing centre-half, even though that, you know what I mean? Even that's under investigation, bruv, because he ain't that great on the ball. But it's one of them ones where he's good enough for Pep to look at him. Same with Fred. Like, Fred's shown for Brazil the level of football he can play. So, again, the disrespect that Fred gets from this fan base is an embarrassment. Because if man's good enough to play for Brazil, then, like, who are you to be trying to rub man out? Do you know what I'm saying? When McTominay's playing centre-back for Scotland.
The thing
you know, like that.
Clubs look at all players. Like, it doesn't have to come out for you to know. Like, they probably look at every single player in the Prem in the other leagues. But the only thing that keeps them interested is the price. And that's similar to City with Maguire. Like, yeah, they were interested. But I can guarantee you, once Pep heard 80 million, he was like,
he's like, no.
He's like, no way am I paying that.
He's like, I'll take him for 30. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, yeah, like a club being interested in a player, yeah, that's the basics. That's literally the beginning. Until a bid's been made or even contact's been made about a fee, none of that matters. But when you're not getting interest at all, this is when I'm thinking there's something wrong with you, blood. You ain't really getting no interest. You're just flying under the radar. And too many men of these ballers fly under the radar. Teams get these guys, yeah, and then you think, yo, it's an absolute steal, bruv. Listen, yeah, any decent player, you like, bruv, like when we got Alexis Sanchez, even though he didn't do great for us, yeah, man were at it tooth and nail with Man City, had to outbid Man City. With good players, same with Berbatov as well. We had to fight City for Berbatov. Van Persie, we had to fight City for Van Persie as well. There were a few clubs in for Van Persie.
Hazard, when he was at Lille, it was literally United.
Hazard, it was us, Chelsea, and Man City.
Yeah.
All of us. And it was literally like Chelsea just won the Champions League. They were in London, so they were in the driver's seat. And also they were willing to pay like an agent fee or something that United were trying to be stingy over. But the bottom line is we were competing with elite clubs for his signature. When you're not competing with elite clubs for a player's signature, it's very worrying for me, bruv.
Yeah, it tells you something.
100%.
It's literally going to be between you and the club. Just a matter of negotiating a price. But best believe there's clubs out there, they will literally just come in and pay whatever.
That's it.
And that's what it
100%.
is.
And then, while you're out here negotiating with this club and that, they've already got a replacement that's better than the baller they're selling you for a third of the price. Because that's what Leicester stay doing. Leicester are replacing all the players they sell with better players that cost them a fraction of the price, bro.
Yeah, no, the way they go about it is filthy. Like, I had no idea who Wesley Fofana was last year. No idea until I started watching them, and I was like, yo, who is he? And he's 19 years old. Like, I loved watching him play. And bro, like, he can't even get into the French B team. Like, fam, like, you know, when I read it, like, especially in the Euros, I'm looking at the French centre backs and I'm thinking, fam, like, there's hella man you man left at home that could easily play and do better.
Yeah.
He couldn't even make it into the B team, let alone the A team. And they signed him for what? 20 million. If he was to move in 2 years' time, how much do you think he'll go for? 50 million plus, 100%.
Minimum now. Bro, listen, you could argue just off the season he had last season, if a team comes in for him now, it's 50 million.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing.
And that's... No, go on, bro.
No, I was going to say, like, it makes sense. Like, there's so many clubs that can do business like that. Similar to Aston Villa with Konsa. The right back that they signed, Matty Cash, I think they got him for like 10 million. I don't think he's amazing, but best believe if he was to leave this summer, we're talking 30 million, 40 million.
Yeah, bro. He does a job in it. He's a good Premier League level footballer. You don't have to be more than that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like that. But if you're getting players like that for 10 mil, you're laughing, bro. You're absolutely laughing. And that's what it is. So if a club thinks, that you're worth the money, they will pay that money, innit? And that's just the bottom line, bruv. Like I said, Atletico paid 120 for Joao Felix, blood. Like, they never needed to pay that. But they just wanted to get the deal over the line because they knew what he was worth, innit? So when people talk about inflated transfer fees and all these other things, listen, like, if man think you're worth it, they will close their eyes and pay the money. Chelsea are willing to pay something like up to 150 million for Holland because they think he's worth it, blood.
Yeah, no. If you're a baller and you're doing bits, teams will pay. It's like Neymar. Who would have ever thought PSG would pay that much for him? But bro, I'm not gonna say he's worth it because like nowadays the prices are wild. But bro, in terms of what you're getting, he's a baller.
But he's already paid them back, bro. Like he's the first 200 million pound footballer, and he was worth every penny to them. Because the Jordan endorsement they got off the back of having Neymar, all these other things, they probably wouldn't have got without him. So Neymar himself would have made them that money back probably in the season that he signed for them, just because of the shirt sales and the sponsorships and all the eyes in Brazil that he would have brought over there.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at the population of Brazil. Don't think all of them, man, ain't supporting, man.
Yeah, they literally support every Brazilian. And let's be
real. That's what I mean. And he's the main one.
Yeah, Neymar is the face of Brazil. Like, even when he was at, I think it was Santos, like at the time, there weren't many Brazilian ballers at the time doing bits. Like, most of them were on the verge of retirement. And he literally just came out of nowhere and took it by a storm. Went to Barcelona and, like, fam, what he done in that Barcelona shirt was filthy. But he warranted his price tag. But best believe, like, if you're a baller, they'll pay. If you're not a baller and they're asking for ridiculous prices, they're walking away. You man can keep this baller that you price so highly.
That's it, bro. And even Neymar is like one of the first Brazilians that had man actually watching players in the Brazilian league, blood. Normally, man will wait until they come to Europe. You know them ones. Man were watching Neymar at Santos from England, bro. Like, man weren't watching, Ronaldinho at Gremio and that. These man weren't doing that. So only when man came to PSG, a lot of man kind of got put onto him. The amount of noise he was making in Brazil was abnormal. And this is from a country that produced superstars almost, every few years. Do you know what I'm saying? And even with that, bruv, like he was making stupid noise, noise in Brazil.
To them, it's normal. Having that player with flair, the skills, that's normal for Brazilians. But like Neymar clearly was doing it to another level. Like they even patterned, like I know it was a setup, 100%. They done the whole Barcelona versus Santos friendly or something. And that's where he literally destroyed their defense. And I think it was like a matter of days they signed him. Like it was literally similar to United and the Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, it was like almost like a Neymar showcase.
Yeah. Like it's just like a farewell.
Yeah.
And he literally.
And that's probably in the agreement, you know what I mean? Where, like, you man can pocket the proceeds of the game, you know, like that, and then Neymar comes over here. So, bruv, like, understand that 200 mil for someone like him, who's literally got a whole nation on his back, it's a snippet, bro, in terms of business, isn't it? And that's the way football's going right now. So that's why I believe, yeah, my man saying, oh, yeah, they'll get Haaland, he's young and this, that, and the other. But, bruv, listen, if he goes Chelsea, he's not staying there for more than 3 seasons, isn't it? Ultimately, he's playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona at some point in his career. You almost know it, innit? So if he goes Chelsea, he's not going Chelsea for a long time. He's going there for a good time, innit? And some good wages. I reckon he's going to have a career like Zlatan's, where he plays for multiple clubs, doesn't stay anywhere too long, and he's just the enigma, bruv, and just keeps moving around and banging goals.
Yeah, no, I think as much as it burns people, I think the Prem will always be a stepping stone. You come, you collect your P's, but once Barca and Madrid come calling, eventually you will go, whether it's this season or next season. And he's too young. He's like 21. So best believe he's not coming to spend the next decade at Chelsea. He'll come, experience the Premier League, get his name known out here, and then I can guarantee you, once Madrid come calling in, he's out.
100%. So I think that he could end up at Chelsea. I think he probably does end up at Chelsea. But as you said, it's a stepping stone thing, unfortunately. A lot of Premier League fans kind of get dragged into, yeah, the Prem's the best league in the world and this, that, and the other. But, bruv, a lot of men outside of this country, they watch the Prem for entertainment, but they're not rating it like that. They still want to play for Barca. They still want to play for Real Madrid. Even Bayern Munich, bro. Even though, like, the German league, like, it's up to you how competitive you think that league really is, isn't it? When it's a one-horse race most seasons. But, bro, the prestige of Bayern Munich ain't going away no time soon, bro.
Nah, I think it's the Prem. It's mainly because we can attract top players. But, like, I think everybody that I've interacted with in the past month, they've all told me, like, yo, the Prem isn't number one. It might be number one for P's. It might be number one for entertainment. But if you're just trying to watch serious ball, you should be looking at La Liga and Serie A. And so many men have said this to me. That's why I was like, yo, like, this season, I might have to venture out and actually watch a few more games rather than just watching the Odd El Clasico and the Milan Derby.
100%. Man said Atletico only bought Felix from the Griezmann money, and now Griezmann's back to Atletico. That hasn't come through yet, though. They're saying that apparently they're going to do a swap deal with, like, Sal Niguez or something like that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that but it doesn't make sense as far as I know, because as far as I know, Niguez is on his way out anyways. So from Atletico's perspective, it makes a lot of sense. You're getting Griezmann, who's still relatively young, probably in his prime, for a player that you're shifting anyways. Like, he's leaving regardless.
Yeah.
So you're getting Griezmann in return. That's amazing business.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. You know what's weird about Griezmann? It's like, if he does go back there, then what the hell happens, bro? Because they bought his replacement and then he's coming back. So what are they going to play them both up front? And neither of them are really strikers like that. Like, it's a weird situation, bro. And also, their manager ain't the most attacking manager in the world. Do you know what I mean? So what do you do with two players like that?
Well, they got Suarez as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do with three players like that then? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that?
I think it's like, the only reason why I know a little bit about it is because, like, yesterday I dropped a Joao Felix video, and from what I know, they are looking at Atletico. They're looking to change the system fully. Like, this they're going back to a 5 at the back or something, isn't it? Yeah, they're fully trying to change it, but I think it's the injuries that didn't allow them this year. But I think I've already said it. I think with Felix, yeah, he's on a 7-year deal. Yeah, he's on P's. Probably one of the most exciting young players out there. But I think if he doesn't hit the ground running this year, I think Atletico might cash in on him.
Yeah. But who's affording that?
Bro, you put him in that City team and it's game over.
Yeah, bruv, he's sick, bro. Like, I done a Rants reacts to him this weekend, bro. He's one of my favorite players, bro. I think that he is literally, I think he's in terms of natural talent, I think he's as good as, in the new gen, he's probably the most talented player on the planet right now. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, look who he's playing for, bro. Like, man signed a 7-year deal, bro. Like, you're not gonna get the best from an attacking player for this manager, innit? And it's like, Griezmann done well there, but Griezmann don't get enough respect for his industry, bro. Like, he's not a luxury player, bro. Like, he works hard, he gets stuck in, even for France as well. You see Griezmann putting in slide tackles in there. Griezmann's a player that puts himself about as well. He's not just a flair player, a luxury player. Like, he does get his shorts dirty, innit? Felix ain't that kind of player. So just because it worked out for Griezmann, that don't mean it's going to work out necessarily for Joao Felix in the same kind of way, innit? I think players like him, you need to build your attack around a player like that. You need to use him how PSG uses Neymar. Like, he needs to be able to come deep, get on the ball, dictate almost everything. Everything needs to go through him to get the best out of a player like that. And they're not doing that there.
No, that's the thing. Like, I think any player, if you operate under like a more pragmatic approach, it hinders the attacking players. You might win, but it will make your attacking players look shit in a sense. And I've always said, like I said, I said this in the video, like with Felix, he's not going to do, like, if anything, he reminds me of Kaka in a sense, the way he plays the game. And bro, the thing is, you have to make him your main man. Everything has to go through him. You have to give him the license to do whatever the hell he wants to do in the final third. And like, trust me, it'll work wonders for you. But the thing is, I don't think Atletico are like that. I don't think they're willing to go down that route. That's why I said, like, I think for City, he would be amazing. The way they dominate the ball, the way the players interchange with one another, like, I think he will cause serious damage there. Like, I even said it. I think it's going to probably be an unpopular opinion, but I think he's got a higher ceiling than Mbappe and Haaland.
Well, of course, bro. I think he's better than them anyway. Like, it's just one of them ones. He's better than them. He just hasn't had the platform in it. It's like his football IQ and his general ability puts him above them for me. It's just they're not using man properly, bro. That's all it is. That his name's not on everyone's lips right now because of who he plays for, bro. That's it. Because between the two of them, they don't have the IQ and the technical ability of him. They don't have that in it. There's a reason why he went for the money he went for.
Yeah.
There's a reason. There's a reason. Do you know what I'm saying? This guy's not a scrub. This guy's an elite footballer. But for whatever reason, it ain't really worked out for him. I've seen loads of people comparing him to players that I don't even see, bro. Like, man said young CR7, I don't see that. CR7 was a winger. Do you know what I mean? The Dybala thing, I don't see either. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, Joao Felix is an old school number 10. He's a throwback, innit? He's a throwback. He's a throwback number 10, bro. You know what I'm saying? He looks kind of like in that Franco Zola mode. Do you know what I'm saying? And they don't play football no more, blood. There's no room for players like that. There's no room for players that play like Cantona and play like Bergkamp and want to almost play as a second striker and get on the ball and link things and have the freedom to go wherever they want. Neymar plays like that now. Neymar's allowed because it's Neymar. Neymar don't have a position, bro. Neymar picks up the ball on the edge of his own box if he feels like it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what Joao Felix, you need to use him like that, innit? He's not really a midfielder. He's not really a striker. He's kind of in between that, and he just kind of does what he wants to do, or he should be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be using him in low block systems and then trying to use him as the player to break the lines on the counter. Like, you can use Griezmann for that, but bruv, you don't want to have this brand no low block system. That don't make no sense.
Bro, you're literally saying everything I said in my video. But the thing is he's very disrespected because when he went to Atletico with all the P's, he hasn't really hit the ground running. Like, let's be real. He hasn't looked good. And the thing is, like, people are choosing to ignore the fact. Like, let's be real. Not many players will look good in that Atletico Madrid team. Not many. They sign a certain mold of players, a certain type of players. That's why, like, players like Diego Costa and everything do well there. But a player like Felix, it made no sense. And like, when I said it, like, he's got a higher ceiling than Mbappe and Haaland, and everybody went mad. I was like, the only difference is those two made the right moves in terms of their career. Haaland went to Dortmund, Mbappe went to PSG. He literally done the worst thing for his career. Like, he just held the fattest L the day he signed that contract. Yeah. That's why I think it's best for him to leave ASAP. That's why I think this year might be his last year at Atletico. If he doesn't do wonders and if they don't change the approach, and bro, he's gone, because they can probably still recoup about 90 million for him because of his age.
Yeah. 100%. And yeah, the Kaka but I don't see it in it. Like I'm someone who watched Kaka in it, and bro, like literally Kaka's pace here was literally that was his game in it. He was good technically in that, but bruv, his pace, bro, he'll push the ball ahead of man 20 yards and burn them out in it. Like the way Kaka played, yeah. That's why when he got a few injuries, you just saw my man just slowly just disintegrating and that, because bro, his pace it didn't make sense in it. Kaka's pace was a joke. His ball control and ball manipulation wasn't on Joao Felix's level. It wasn't like that in it. He was like Kaka was just a speed demon, and he had tech as well. You know what I mean? But Felix's thing is just different. It's just more techie. It's slower. Do you know what I mean? It's that there's more thinking about it because he just doesn't have the explosiveness. You know them ones. People trying to compare him to Kai Havertz. I'm not having that.
Nah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Kai Havertz is decent, yeah, but let's not disrespect the star boy now, innit? Like he's not. Havertz ain't Felix, bro. Like Felix is potentially a generational talent, bro. Look at the amount of money that he went for, yeah. Like the guy's meant to be the face of Portuguese football, but because he's playing for two pragmatic managers right now, they're doing him dirty. But he's supposed to be the second coming of CR7 for that country. He's meant to be that, innit? And in terms of pure skill set at the age group, that's the bracket he should be in for. Because I watched Quaresma and CR7 come up, and everyone thought Quaresma was going to have a better career. Everyone did.
Yeah.
That's why he got the Barcelona move. Everyone thought he's going to have the better career, and it didn't work out. But in terms of natural skill set, bro, there was a clear gap between Quaresma and CR7 at the time. There was a clear gap. I think Quaresma was a year older as well, but there was a clear gap in ability.
No, Quaresma was filthy. Like those two were like my two favorite players growing up. But like Quaresma was something different, but it just felt like he didn't want it as much as Ronaldo. That's what he didn't, because he had a lot of opportunities. There was a period where he went to Inter Milan. There was a period where he came on loan to Chelsea. Yeah, he came on loan and I was shitting it. Like I was like, why? Hardly played at Chelsea. He was a sub player. Comes on, odd game here and there. And I think like with Quaresma, he only really done bits in the Portuguese league. When he went back to Porto again, he done well over there. Then he went to Turkey at Besiktas. He done well. I feel like 100%, he's a player that's probably thinks back now and says, yo, I regret all of this because I'm better than half these men out here that are getting quoted for 100 M's and them prices. But it's too late.
Yeah, 100%. Man, seeing Isco comparisons, that's closer to the kind of player he is, isn't it? Like, but still no, like he's just his own man. I don't know anything like him right now, bro. The closest thing, yeah, visually to someone like him is Neymar, bro. That's the closest thing visually I could see in terms of what his style resembles. But he doesn't have the pace that Neymar has.
I think he's a blend. He's a blend of many players because I see a little bit of David Silva in him. The way he can literally just pick up the ball and just wiggle through people.
Yeah, the way his press resistance and the way he retains possession in entire areas, it's got that David Silva number 10 kind of about him, but then the way he kind of glides towards the box and the way he does little give and goes and the way he finishes shows you that he's got that attacking instinct in him, innit? That's why for me it's more of an old school Bergkamp number 10, Zola number 10 kind of player, because he's like the blend of a midfielder and a striker, but he's not quite either. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. He's not quite a striker and he's not quite a midfielder, because you wouldn't expect him to do the industrious part of the game as a midfielder, but then you wouldn't expect him to score 25 goals a season because he's not really that either. So he's one of them players like Neymar. You just let them go out and play, innit? And that's just what it is. You just let them go out and play. They'll have good games, they'll have bad games, but they'll always influence the game at some point. Even if Neymar doesn't have a good game, he still creates something. Do you know what I'm saying? A bad game for Neymar is he misses a couple chances that he probably should score and then probably sets up 2 goals and that. Like that's just, it's kind of how it is, bro. And players like Joao Felix, you just got to let them go out there. Every other pass probably has to go through them, and you need to build your team around players like this. Like they're not normal players. You can't just have them as part of a functioning team, bro, because you lose a lot from players like that when you just have them as one of many players. Like, it's disrespectful to the player itself.
Bro, like, a poor game for Neymar is probably Hella Man's best game ever. Yeah, bro, that tells you something. But I feel like, you see, nowadays, I don't think many teams build their teams around certain players.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, it'll hinder a player like Joao Felix. But at the same time, there are a lot of teams trying to deploy the whole false nine because they're trying to force in like players similar to a Joao Felix. But he's just at the wrong club. He's at a club that I don't think will ever deploy a false nine, and they'll never change up the way they play. Like, they've been playing this type of ball for years, and let's be real, it works for them.
It does.
So why change it? Why change it for a player like Felix?
But that makes me think, why the fuck did they want him anyway? Like, it almost seems like the owners spent that money on him. Because that doesn't really sound like a Simeone signing, bruv.
Everyone was shocked. Like, when they came in for him, I was like, yo, like, maybe they're testing the waters in a sense. But when they actually paid it, I was like, yo, like, it doesn't make sense in the slightest. But you never know. Like, well, to be fair, we might be having a completely different conversation if they did implement that new formation and maybe he was boarding for them. But as far as we know, it's all talk. And I'm just basing this on what people have said in my comments.
Yeah, 100%. A man said exactly the same issue with Pogba and United. It is kind of the same issue. Do you know what I'm saying? It is the same issue. You got a player that really you should build a team around, and instead you're almost putting him every other place other than where you should be putting him, bruv. Like, this brother's played everywhere for the team, bro. On the left, on the right, in the pivot, everywhere except where he should be playing, innit? And it's kind of like, if you've got a player of that caliber, they're not luxury players. Like, even when players call players like Felix and Neymar and that luxury players, they're not luxury players, bro. Like, having a top talent isn't that's not luxury, bro. It's part of the game, innit? Like, at the end of the day, football's about winning matches, innit? Them kind of players are match winners. Therefore, you have to accommodate match winners. It's that simple, because those are the kind of players that can win you games on their own. There's not many players in world football that can win you a football match by themselves. Pogba is one of those players. Felix is one of those players. Them kind of players, yeah, you literally build the team around. You accommodate these players. Like, even Ozil at Arsenal at one point, they were disrespecting him. It's like, bruv, he's your best player, and you're talking about this brother like he's a scrub. Now, you, man, better do your best to make sure you're getting the best out of him, because if you don't, you're not winning games. He's not a luxury player, bruv. He's your best player. It's that simple. Their man got rid of Santi Cazorla, got rid of all these other ballers around Ozil, yeah, and expected him to still do bits, blood. But he had plumbers playing behind him and that. How you got man playing with Coquelin and them, man? Then you wonder why man's not pulling up trees, bro. It's a disrespect. Man came from Real Madrid to play with them ballers.
I think a lot of times clubs make signings and try to force the player in, because, like, I remember I made a video on Ozil as well. When I was like, Ozil, what he was doing in that Real Madrid top was filthy. Like, I was shocked when they sold him, and I was jealous. I was like, yo, he should have come to United. But you see players like that.
He was linked with us as well.
Yeah, you build the team around them, and you put players around them that make up for any deficiencies they have. Whatever it is, if they don't have the work rate, cool. You bring that engine next to them. That engine might be shit, but best believe he's there for a purpose. And I feel like this criticism only comes in the Premier League, because, bro, in La Liga, Ozil never held any heat because he wasn't running around. But the thing is, he was running around. But of course, when you compare it to man them in the Premier League that probably just run around for the sake of running, of course he's going to look like a lazy bro. But he does run. But when he came to the Prem, too many man focused on his heat map. And I've always said, players like that, ignore their heat map, just look at them on the ball. And I guarantee you will ignore their heat map.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. And that's why the stats and all of these things are killing football, blood. I believe that all these heat maps and all this bullshit, yeah, leave them to the stats team at the football clubs to deal with, innit? Average football fans don't need to be seeing heat maps, bro, because you don't know what to do with them. You know, like that. So stop pretending that you man know football. You don't, innit? You don't need these. Do you know what I'm saying? Like most of the food you eat, you don't even know what's in it, bruv. And you don't need to know what's in it. You know why? Because it's not gonna make a difference. Still gonna eat it anyway. Is the way it is.
Analyze the game.
Everyone wants to analyze the game, but then they're not really analyzing it. They're just using it for agendas, blood. They're not even really analyzing it, bro. You know, like that. Because stats and that's part of the evidence, isn't it? It's evidence, bro. These men get one piece of evidence and think that they know the whole story, blood. You don't know the whole story of one bit of evidence. One bit of evidence will never be enough here to tell you the whole story, innit? So either you're going to use all the evidence or just don't use any. But these men want to use some.
Yeah, now I've always said like stats don't paint the picture unless you're watching the player. Like it's like similar to Bruno. I've always said unless you watched him throughout the entire season, you can't tell me he's a world-class player. But best believe, if I wasn't a United fan and I saw the stats of Bruno, bro, I'm probably thinking he's the best midfielder out there.
But if you take away that, if you take away his performances, yeah, and you just show man his numbers, on paper, he's probably the best midfielder in the world at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
On paper. But then man can't start for his country in the most important games. And that tells you everything you need to know, innit? And that's why, fuck a heat map, bro. Because it's not about how much grass you cover. It's what you do when you're on the ball, bro. That's what it's about. It's about what you do when you're on the ball, not how much you run, bro. So what if you run loads? Most of the time, players are doing loads of running, yeah, unnecessarily because either they're unintelligent or they're out of position, so they need to run.
Yeah, they're making up. They're making up for
you're making up for mistakes, bro. That's why your heat maps like that, bro. It's some joke thing, bro. Like if you're intelligent, you don't need to run loads, blood. I guarantee you Messi spends 95% of his game walking.
He does. Fam, there was even a period, funny enough, the criticism came when the game was streamed on BT Sport. And I was like, fam, there's no surprise that the criticism is coming from English pundits because best believe ain't no Spanish pundit talking about Messi walking on the halfway line. Because fam, he'll get the ball and silence you. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's literally just in the UK. Like, they love a brother that runs around. And it is jarring in a sense because, like, I remember I was reading something about Ndombele where it was when he was at Lyon, they played 2 players around him because they knew his work rate wasn't the best.
Yeah, they just know he walks. They let him walk because he's cold.
But bro, think about it. Like some teams will play only 1 player to make up for your deficiencies. These men play 2. You can only field 10 outfield man. These men are already willing to sacrifice 2 man for Ndombele because of how
he's that good. On the ball.
100%. Yeah. But now he's come to Tottenham. And you've got man them saying, oh, yeah, he should be benched. Yeah, he hasn't got the work rate. When I think it was Ryan Winks came in towards the end of the season. He didn't even play in Ndombele. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I always say players like this, stay away from the Prem. Yeah, I would love to watch you. I would love for you to play for Man United. But it's not worth the criticism. And the next thing you know, man, them are calling you overrated. Man, them are calling you flops. Because best believe, anywhere else, you'd be appreciated.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. And like when man I say Messi can afford to walk on the pitch, bro, it's not even that, bro. The point is, yeah, you have to make an allowance for special players, innit? There's an obsession with all these men being able to do everything. No footballer can do everything. But there's certain men that they expect everything from, a certain man they don't, innit? As far as I'm concerned, you have to pick your strongest weapons, yeah, and then you use the shit players like the McTominays and that to cover up the weaknesses of your excellent players. Not necessarily McTominay, but players of that ilk. You might need a Fred in there because it's like, you know what? Fred will run his fucking socks off. Even though he's not the best footballer, yeah, like technically he's good. Don't get me wrong, but he's not good in pressure situations. Fred, the way Man United make him look is because United play too much of the game without the ball. If Fred's playing, yeah, for a team that monopolizes possession and monopolizes the ball, he looks like a much better player. Much better player. The problem comes when United want to give up possession to other teams and then just have him as a man that just breaks up play and then he's rushing things. When Fred's rushed, he looks rubbish. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. But if the whole team was calm, he would be fine. And that's why he looks fine for Brazil. Same with players like Jesse Lingard, bro. He's very good on the ball, bro. Like, the reason why man are calling him shit is because they ain't seen him in a good system with good players around him. Because Jesse can bot, bro. And this is the problem with a lot of these men, bro. They just don't get it, bro. Like, they don't get it at all. The system's very important, and all these stats and all these things, it's all bullshit, bro. Like, get a balanced team and get your best players playing their best football. That's how you win games, bro. Every single team that's won leagues, the reason why they've won leagues is because their best players were shelling for them, bro.
Yeah,
that's it.
no.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? When Man United won the 2013 season, it's because we played for Robin van Persie because he was our best player. You have to play for your best players. How can you have a Paul Pogba, but you're not playing for him? And then you're slating him that he's not doing well. Then you're like, oh, he only plays well for France. Because they play for him.
Nah, like I've always said, like I've been saying this for years, you build a balanced team. Because let's be real, what good is you fielding me 10 players similar to one another? What good is that? I need that outlier. I need that odd player in the team. Yeah, that odd player will probably give me things way better on the ball than off the ball. But bro, I'm cool with that. I don't want 10 men that are willing to run around and all shit on the ball. What are we going to do with that? You have to make sacrifices in football. It's all about building a balanced team. If you want to have a wavy winger that doesn't track back, make sure you've got a fullback that's willing to sit back and make up.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing
is, make sure you've got, maybe you need to play 2 holding midfielders, and you need a holding midfielder that's gonna slide across when your fullback goes up and he doesn't go forward. Do you know what I'm saying? But you need to make allowances for that. And Fernandinho was brilliant at doing that for Man City. He allowed the Man City players to kind of fly forward. That's why you can get away with playing David Silva centre midfield. Because Fernandinho was sitting, bruv.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Man got to understand systems, bro. So when man are like, oh, good players shouldn't be dependent on the system, bro, that's nonsense. Every good player is reliant on the system, bro, to a certain extent. The system shouldn't affect your fucking first touch. Don't get me wrong, but it should affect your output. Of course it should. Of course it should. How you, as a striker, how do you score if you're in a system, yeah, that lets the other team have the ball and doesn't create a lot of chances for you? How are you meant to score, bro? You're only as good as your supply line as a forward.
Yeah, that's what I've always said. Like, the best example I can use is Man United. You have a system in place, and then you sign the right type of players for that system. Don't go out and sign players just because they sound good or because you think you can get them for a bargain if they don't fit in. Because you can do that if you're willing to switch up the entire system and build the team around them. But let's be real, United aren't doing that. Not many teams are willing to do that. But that's the thing. Like I've always said, City are the perfect example. Bro, there's hella ballers out there that City can go out and buy that they can afford. But there's a reason why they don't go in for everyone. There's a reason.
Facts. Because they don't suit them.
Yeah, precisely. And that's why every signing they tend to get does well. It's a similar mold. They're all comfortable on the ball. But with United, it's like you've got players that want the ball to feet, but then you've got players that want the ball over the top that can't play with the ball to feet. And then literally, there's no balance in the team. There's no cohesion in the final third, and it just makes it shit on the eye. And when you talk about it, it sounds so simple. Yeah, that's what baffles me. Where I'm like, fam, like it sounds so simple. Like you don't need to go out and study this. All you have to do is sit down and watch a game. But some people just don't understand it.
But they won't, and they don't want to, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I say, yeah. Like everybody watches football for different reasons. That's fine, innit? But then this whole culture, yeah, of attacking people because they don't watch football the way you watch football, or they don't watch football for what you watch football for, it's nonsense, innit? And that's just what it is. If you want to watch football and number crunch, cool, innit? I could have been an accountant. I studied it. I'm not an accountant. I do YouTube, innit? So I don't care about your numbers. I want to watch football to be entertained. I'd rather watch my team play entertaining football and not win anything, yeah, than watch my team play shit football and not win anything. I'm just saying, innit? Because if I know the football's going to be shit and I know we're not going to win, why am I even watching it, bruv?
Nah, 100. Like I've always said.
What am I watching it for? For stress? Man, don't need stress.
Nah, 100. Like I've always said, fam, yeah, cool, United win the league. What am I putting in my pocket? Jack shit.
It's true.
Fam, I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting a penny out of it. But at the end of the day, when I sit down and I commit an hour and a half of my day, I want to be entertained. I don't want come the 90th minute, man sitting there raging, losing my shit, getting into arguments. Why?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I was making peas out of it, bro, I'm all for it. Like similar to my job, I get stressed the shit out, but I know at the end of the month I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it. But with United, man's not getting paid. So why are you stressing man out?
It's a mad thing, isn't it? And that's just what it comes down to. So at the end of the day, yeah, for me, football is about entertainment. Football is about feeling, innit? Football is about emotion. That's why most people watch football, because the emotive side of it, bro. There's no emotion, blood. There's no emotion for me when I watch these man play, because the football's dead and all the players I grew up on, they don't play no more. So what am I attached to, blood? Like a badge ain't enough to get me excited, bro. I need something, innit? I need something to buy into. And right now, I don't have a style of play to buy into. I don't have a manager that fills me with confidence when he speaks. And I don't have that many players that I think are that good for me to be excited about. That's why I'm gassed for the Sancho thing, because I genuinely rate him as a player. But I wouldn't be surprised if after 2 or 3 games, if he doesn't play well, certain man turn on him, bro. Because we've seen it before, bro.
Yeah, nah, it will happen. There's a lot of hype around Sancho. Everybody's expecting him to do wonders. United for the past, years crying out for a right winger. Everyone thinks, yo, it's like the final piece to the jigsaw. But here's the thing, yo, like with United, because there's nothing to us, we can make a baller look shit. And all it's going to take is for a few games of Sancho not to look good, and all that talk is going to come in of, he's overrated, he's not worth the price, no wonder.
Yeah, they'll be like, how much? And then he'll be getting compared to Pepe. Watch. I guarantee you, because the Arsenal fans will be ready with the Pepe thing. Yeah, they'll be ready because they're still hurt. You know, like that. They're still hurt about the Pepe thing. So now we got Sancho. The Pepe comparisons are coming, just like the Xhaka comparisons for Pogba came at the beginning. You know, like that. So it's just one of them ones where it's going to be super interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we've been linked to Varane. They're saying that Oli really, really, really wants Varane, yeah, because like he's the best defender that's available on the list, innit? And he's really pushing for another centre back. And there's all this talk of United playing a more attacking system, yeah, if Varane comes in, which I don't believe for a second. I still believe he's going to play a double pivot. All this talk of the 4-3-3 makes zero sense because we don't have a holding midfielder. So Oli would be very stupid to play a 4-3-3, yeah, without signing a holding midfielder. If anything, that will open us up to even more of a beating. So I don't really know what the deal is with that. What the hell do you think of that anyway? Switching to 4-3-3 without signing a defensive midfielder. It sounds like suicide to me, blood, because we don't have a Jurgen Klopp. We don't have a Pep Guardiola that can actually coach that system to allow us to maybe play that even without a DM. Because I would trust Pep. I would trust Klopp to play that system. At times he's played that with Henderson, the deepest of the three, and he's not a defensive midfielder, and he's gotten away with it. But that doesn't feel like Oli to me, bruv.
I think, like I made a video on this, I think like last week, and what it is I was like, there's no way in hell United would even think about implementing a 4-3-3 if a DM wasn't on their mind. Like it makes no sense unless you're trying to force a Fred or a McTominay. But fam, they couldn't do the job together, let alone.
You ain't lying, bro.
No, they couldn't. So it's literally suicide in a sense. And here's the thing: like I was reading people saying, "Oh yeah, we played a double pivot because the centre back partnership isn't good." Do you man really think getting a Varane and then putting a McTominay in front of him is going to change anything? No, like it really wouldn't. And then you can also look at the fullbacks. Like if it's a 4-3-3 and the wingers cut in, do we have fullbacks that are going to go all the way out? I think Shaw will, but I don't think Wan-Bissaka will.
No,
so we don't have the players for it. Are we going to go out and sign the players for it? I don't know, because bro, like since the transfer window started, I haven't heard of a single link to a DM. Like not a single one. I've heard Camavinga, but even
that's another centre midfielder in a position that we don't need. And then we've been linked with Kieran Trippier, yeah. And the funny thing about that is that Oli, yeah, is that Oli admitting that he wasted 50 million on Wan-Bissaka?
Well, it might be, fam. Or it might be that talk. Man's trying to play him centre back. You never know.
Yeah, but I'm hearing free centre back in a free. You know, like that. So again, that means he showed that he made a mistake. Because man let Dallo go and then brought in an attacking right back that can't attack, or he was meant to be for an attacking system, or wasn't he? Do you know like that? You sign a centre back, a defensive right back, and then you're trying to tell man that you're trying to play more attacking football, but you literally got rid of the most attacking fullback at the club, and you brought in a right back and an old school right back at that. Do you know what I mean? He's more defensive than Gary Neville, blood.
Yeah, 100%.
Gary Neville used to overlap every opportunity. Every time Beckham got the ball, Neville was breaking his neck to get past him.
Nah, like, here's the thing. Like, with Wan-Bissaka, he will, but it's just not good.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate the effort, but fam, it's just not your thing. So you've got Dalot, and I'm not gonna lie, like Dalot was still relatively young, and I can't remember who it was, but I saw a tweet where it was like Ancelotti and another manager are like huge admirers of Dalot.
Yeah, Ancelotti wants him. I know that for sure.
Yeah, there was another manager. There was another top manager. And I was thinking like, yo, it is kind of mad when you've got managers like Ancelotti that have been in the game for years. They've won it all. And they're looking at a player like Dalot and thinking, yo, he can fit in. But at United, he can't even get any minutes. And United are trying to get Kieran Trippier. Like, it doesn't make sense. And here's the thing, like, Oli doesn't have to be, like, in order for you to prove you're a wavy manager, you don't have to change your system. Like, you don't. Because it feels like now United, we're changing it so we can be more attacking. But, bro, best believe we will make that 4-3-3 look the most defensive it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like, everybody thinks, yo, 4-3-3, yeah, 2 8s and everything. Bro, no way. It will still look defensive under United. So, I don't understand the whole changing of the system. And I even said it, like, bro, all it's going to take is 1-2 games for us to get
lose. Bro, we got Pam 6-1 and then man went to 7 at the back.
And then, bro, we're back. We're back to 4-2-3-1. And the man them are going to come out and say, oh, yeah, we don't have a DM and rare. Fam, I don't care. I told you, I washed my hands with United years ago.
That even, what was it, the Leipzig game where we went 5 at the back, this, that, and the other. Man conceded 2 goals in like the first 10 minutes or something. That's what I'm saying. Man tried batter down the hatches and that. This is what we do. This is what we do. Even if man saying we're going 4-3-3, I guarantee you, man just need to hold smoke once and Ollie's bum will go and we'll be back to going to McFred double pivot. It's coming back.
Yeah. Because
you man can clip this because the McFred double pivot's coming back, you know. Don't get it twisted. Even if we don't start the season with it, we'll hold 1 L and Ollie's bum will go.
It's because that's the system that he knows best. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't do wonders with it. Hell no. But to him as a manager, that's the system that he's tested, and in his eyes, it works. Okay? Yeah. So, bro, it's not going to take much for him to drop back to it. Like, I remember there was even a point last year, I think either last year or the year before, where we tried to play 4-1-2-1-2, but narrow. So more like, and I think it was against
Everton. Played against Everton. It was rubbish. Everton, it was rubbish. It looked terrible. It looked horrible.
We were shit. And then come the next game, that's it. We were back to 4-2-3-1. I think that was the game when he came out and said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm going to be successful, and certain man are not going to be and certain man ain't going to be here." And that when he tried to play the diamond against Everton, and we stank, bro. I remember it. Like, I remember it, bro. Nah, man, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for the new season, but I'll be real with you, bro. Like, I think I'm more excited to watch other teams because, like with United, I'll definitely always watch them. But, bro, I've always said in the past few years, my entertainment comes from watching other teams, not United.
Yeah, you don't watch them for entertainment. You watch them because out of habit, innit? Because you've always done it. And that's what it is. I hear you. 100%, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, big up everyone inside. You already know the thing. Man telling me to put his channel in the thing. He's not really on YouTube like that now, innit? Harj is on TikTok at the moment. Twitch channels come. Have you done it? You got it sorted, yeah?
I done it 2 days ago.
Let me add you now. Let me add you to my Twitch thing while I'm here as well. You man, make sure you follow me on Twitch. What's your Twitch?
Oh, it was a struggle to get a name. So it's H, the number 4, and then 2 J's.
That's it, yeah? Yeah, that's cool, man. So yeah, I'm gonna add him to my Twitch, innit? To suggested streamers at the bottom. So if any of you lot follow me on Twitch, you'll be at the bottom of my page as well. You got anything else that you want to plug here as well?
Nah, I'm all good, bro. I just want to say, like, for any like Muslims in your stream, Eid Mubarak.
Come on, guys. You already know what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So love to everyone celebrating. Make sure you have a look. Yeah, I found you here. I've added you to my list now. So if you want to find Hodge's Twitch, if you just go to my page, go to the bottom of my page, you'll see the link to his channel there, and you can subscribe to him there. So make sure you lot do that. And yeah, make sure you go into the description of this video as well if you want to come down to the game on Sunday and watch our title match. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a big game for us. Win the game, we win the league. It's down at Haringey Borough Stadium. 4 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. Arsenal Fan TV play after us. So I think Robbie and them lot will probably be down there as well. Me and my brother will be there. So if you man want pictures or whatever, as long as you ain't got COVID, that's fine. You know them ones there. Man will chat to you. If I see any of you lot coughing, bruv, I'm off, blood. Don't ever think that man standing there and taking pictures with man and they're coughing and that. A man can't even smell their food and that. It's so long. So big up everyone inside. And yeah, man, make sure you check out Rants Reacts as well. That just came out on my channel as well from the futsal game. And yeah, man, I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're doing the show with Matisse and Deluded on Wednesday instead of Thursday. So yeah, I'm back at 1 o'clock with them, man, guys. So big up yourselves. Make sure you follow Hodge on Twitch. I'm sure the mods will put the link in the chat, and also follow him on TikTok. It's _Hodge25 people. Catch you lot tomorrow.